Bugsy Benjamin's back at it again. The best revenge in life is the life well lived. That's it. That's the key. A life well lived. Living a clean, living with purpose, living with a sense of duty. Tackling the hard things today, making tomorrow an easier day. When you live your life well, it radiates to others. A life well lived radiates to others. When you get good sleep at night, someone said the best pill to sleep on at night is a clear conscience. Facts. Could sleep in a cold cell, in a cot, on concrete floors, by yourself, no light, and you could sleep peacefully. Your mind could be at rest, at ease, regardless of your environment and surroundings, as long as what's inside is at peace. Your conscience is at peace, knowing you did the right things, made the hard decisions to lead to the right outcomes. It's not hard. Life is not hard. A little bit of discernment, learning from past decisions, learning from, especially from people's behaviors and people's patterns of behaviors. Once you can discern human beings and human behavior, you're straight. Then the accountability falls back on you, all back on you, since you can't blame anybody else. When you've learned what you needed to learn, you can't blame anybody else for the outcome of your life. If you spent 6 years in school learning various concepts and studies of topics, but you don't put it into practice, you don't put anything in action, you're not going to get any results. If you don't take notes, you're not going to get results. If you don't make that phone call, you're not going to get results. If you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to get results. If you sleep until 9:30 a.m., you're not going to get results. Early bird gets the worm. Living a life well lived is the best revenge. And you make it look easy too. You plan for your future. You think about your future. If you got children, you think about the uncertainties, the realities. You think about how to support them and your family. You think about where your finances are going to be. You think about the what ifs. What if, knock on wood, someone's injured, someone gets into an accident, there's a health emergency. These things happen, which is why we need to plan and think of situations and think of alternatives and think of solutions. When you plan and solve for tomorrow, today's easier. And we only look back in the history to study what we could have done better. But we don't dwell on history. We don't dwell on the past. We don't dwell on what we did wrong. We simply analyze, change, and adopt new principles. life well lived is the best revenge for those that have done you wrong. Even if they won't say. People know when they do people wrong. Others know deep inside when they're not right with themselves. When you're not right with yourselves, it shows. You can't hide it. As much as you try to hide it, you can't hide it. If you're not right with yourself, I can see it. It shows. When the light's on and the camera's on, when the sun is shining and your face is glistening, you can't hide. You can't hide from the room. People can see right through you. People can sense your jitteriness, sense that you're nervous. People can sense if you're comfortable. People can sense all kinds of energy. We don't just have five senses as we're traditionally thought. We've got sense of energy, sense of time, sense of motion, sense of temperature. Learning how to read the room and read people, reading human beings. Reading between the lines. Is what they're saying and how they're communicating it, is it congruent? Does the talk match up to the body language? Or are you incongruent? Talk that confident talk, but your body language says otherwise. Or are you deceptive? You communicate in a way, but your body language gives off a completely different story or intent. You can't hide from people. There's no privacy anymore. Everything's online and in the forever web, in the dark web. Everybody's on camera at all times. Governments, corporations, organizations, businesses, small businesses, individuals all have tons of data on pretty much anybody. You can search up and look up anybody and find their whole life history. So you can't hide in this day and age, in this information technology age, this artificial general intelligence age. There's no hiding. To some people, that might seem scary or dystopian. To me, it's just fine. More protection for me. For those who live right, they aren't worried about who's watching. Watch if you want. The more time you spend watching other people's lives, it's less time you're spending watching your own and building your own life. The more time you scroll and doom scroll down TikTok and YouTube and Twitter, X, whatever the fuck that platform's called now, the more attention you give to other people's lives, you inherently have less attention and energy for your own. And then people complain about where they are in life. Or they take that anger out on other people. Or they project that lack of discipline, that lack of accomplishment on other people. A life well lived is the best revenge. Yo, look at this. 401. A life well lived is the best revenge. You don't have to say nothing. Your lifestyle, yourself, speaks for who you are. You don't have to sell anything. You don't have to cajole. You don't have to persuade. When you live a life well lived, your lifestyle sells you. You sell you. Your image, your aura, your work history, your experience. Your ability to overcome and prosper. That speaks for itself. Your ability to overcome and to change perspectives when needed is key. Having a history of adversity and experience with adversity is invaluable. It's invaluable to living a life well lived. We all go through our own adverse situations. We all go through our own challenges and trials and tribulations. We all experience pain, death. We all experience traumas. No one trauma is comparable or the same or should be compared. I don't know why people do. But it's not in the trauma, it's not in the experiences, it's in the adversity. It's how you've overcome and how you change your perspective. How have those experiences changed you? And how have you changed your outlook on life? And have you put those lessons into practice? Have you done the work? Me, I've done the work. Now it's just about maintenance. Maintaining the hard work that I've built. It's tough. It's tough to make the right decisions. But the key is to put in the work now. If you don't like where you are, find out where you want to be and how do you get there. Plan, strategize. If there's a field, if there's an industry that you want to be a part of, that you want to grow. There's new interests, hobbies, new concepts that you haven't explored. What's stopping you today? What's stopping you from getting on YouTube? What's stopping you from getting on ChatGPT, Gemini, and diving into new topics? Learning about physics, learning about economics, learning about geopolitics. What's stopping you? Information is practically free. You can learn anything and everything for pretty much $12 a month. So while others succeed and grow and scale and take advantage of this opportunity that we have, this life that we have, you can sit doom scrolling, wasting your life away. We'll have access to the same air, the same information, the same water. It's about what you do with it that matters. All comes down to choices. A life well lived is the best revenge. The best revenge is a life well lived. Some of you may be already on this path, making the daily decisions, the daily tough decisions. Why are so many fucking cars, bro? Hold on. Wait till these cars pass by. What a busy Saturday. Some of you may be on your journey, life's journey, or already living an enviable life, and congrats to you. Props to you. for making the right decisions on a consistent basis. But that is gonna bring about envy and hate from others, from family, from friends, from colleagues, ex-family, friends and colleagues. It's gonna bring about envy, hatred, and jealousy. I find the best solution to that is, the best remedy is just to ignore the shit. Ignore the bullshit. Everyone's gonna have something bad to say. Everyone's gonna have something to nitpick. Everyone's gonna go back and dig into your history. Everyone's gonna go back and find, oh, he was wrong about this. Oh, who gives a fuck? Nobody gives a fuck. As long as you've got generally accurate and accepted principles for how you live and guide your life, and the true and tested, scientifically backed, healthy ways of living. The nuances and little things you do and say on a daily basis, your history that you can't change, none of that matters. You shouldn't care. We can't go back in time. We can't change history. We can only change the future. And as you change and grow beyond your environment, you change and grow from other people, you keep the love, the unconditional love, to accept those who come back and rekindle a relationship with you, with, of course, stipulations and conditions. If someone does you wrong, they'll do it again. So keep that in mind. But you always want to be welcoming, warm, unconditional in your baseline care and love for other people. As much as they may hate you or envy or be jealous of you, you can't control that. And you can't feed that energy by giving back the exact same energy that they're feeding into the world, that they're feeding you. So all you can do is live a good life. Disappear and live a good life. Let the silence be the void. The silence will speak for itself. The separation of lifestyles and outcomes will speak for itself. And they will be left with the decisions and the outcomes of the decisions that they've made or failed to make. But again, not my problem to fix. I'm not here to fix other people's problems, fix society, fix institutions. I don't view the world in an idealistic way. I view it from the basis of physics, actions, reactions, momentum, compounding, the natural laws of nature, of the solar system. Sounds stupid. Ugh. People all think how life should be or how society should be set up based on what they see in Disney movies, read in fiction books, watch on TV, watch on YouTube, watch on social media. People view life idealistically. And when you do that, you don't address the real world. You don't address the real world pain points. You don't look under the surface. You don't look deeper. You don't magnify to see the nuances of everything. And it's in that magnification that you can change and look for ways to how to improve how to improve the world, really. Idealists are just ideas. Ideas that never become reality. DEI, equal pay for equal work, without considering the occupation at hand. What else? Equality of relationships, equality of outcome. Inequality. 5% of the population owns 90% of the wealth. That will always be a fact of life. There's always going to be a poor class, there's always going to be an upper class. Things need to get done, work needs to get done, and things have owners or means of control of production. Are you an owner or are you a worker? Or are you both? Anyways, it's enough for me rambling on. I'll repeat it again. A life well lived is the best revenge. Never forget that. Peace.